We're good. Trying to catch up.
I had to restart.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, what a great team win and a great way to send our seniors out of Maverick Stadium with a win and a shutout for those guys on defense. Shutouts are hard to come by, and Colorado State was a long time ago. In my first year as the head coach in 2013, there was only a handful of those players that were here in 2013. So what a special day, a lot of pride on that defense in the fourth quarter, a lot of backups playing, and so a tremendous, tremendous performance by our defense. Red zone defense was outstanding. Fourth down stops were outstanding. And then I thought we did a great job running the football on offense. Our O-line did a great job of protecting Jordan. Multiple, backs. Both quarterbacks got involved in the run game. And great game plan on offense by David Yost. And a credit to our defense and defensive coaches for a shutout. And so I'm happy with win number 6, but, there's one more week to go. And a big emphasis for us a week ago coming off bye week was finish strong. And we're on a 2-week sprint. And so we were on a 2-week sprint to get to number 7. And so this isn't, this is number 6, but it's not the tip of the mountain for us. And so that's all those guys in the locker room were talking about just a few minutes ago. And so they absolutely know right where we're at and how we're trying to finish the season. So proud of them. Great, strong start, and really came out after halftime. And I thought you saw a very fresh and a very energized team coming off bye week. I'm very proud. I thought we looked very fast, especially early in the game. And these guys have done a nice job over the last 2 weeks. So with that, I'll go in and open up for some questions.
I understand all 18 seniors got to play tonight.
They did.
How special was that for you?
It's pretty neat. That was a concerted effort on our part this week. And there's actually some of those guys got extended playing time at the end of the game. And that's something that they'll always remember. You can't ever take those feelings away. And it's one of those years we were able to do it, and I think that was pretty neat that every one of them got to play.
Not only did they all get to play, but Myers had a touchdown, Roberts had a touchdown, Jalen Davis tied his career high, I believe, on pass breakups.
Yeah, 4 PBUs.
Pretty much everybody had an amazing game as a senior. How sad are you going to be to see them walk out the door, though, here in a couple weeks?
Well, we got a few more weeks left with them. But those guys that you just mentioned have meant a lot to this program. Kent Myers, Lawan Hunt, Jalen Davis, Braylon Roberts. You just mentioned a few of them. Dallin Levitt, I thought, played extremely well. Those guys, when they play that way on a great, what a great setting today, great weather. Senior day, you get a shutout, score a lot of points, get to enjoy the fourth quarter. You can't write a better script for those seniors.
Coach, what are you doing during bye weeks? You're 5-0 after bye weeks in your career.
6-0 now.
Was it 6-0?
Yeah.
Sorry. 6-0 after bye weeks. I mean, most of those being huge wins like this one.
I don't know. I think it's a lot more player driven. We've had some big wins coming off bye weeks, and I think our coaches do a great job. Our strength and conditioning staff, led by Dave Scholes, we just put a lot of thought into it and do some different stuff during bye week. And it's a very fine line. I talked to you guys, on Monday in that press conference. It's a fine line between how hard you're practicing, how much you're resting, and getting ahead. We spent some time getting ahead on Hawaii, developing our younger kids, taking some time with our younger players, and getting ahead. But I think we had the right mix, and I think you saw a very fast and very fresh and really energized team today.
Do you feel like the run block is for the offensive line is getting better each week?
Yeah, I think, obviously you've had back-to-back 100-yard rushers the last 2 weeks. Anytime you rush for 300 yards on anybody, I think it's a good day at the office for the O-line. The other guys that are involved in that, especially in a direct form up close, is those tight ends. Dax Raymond, Carson Terrell, Damian Hobbs have done a really good job blocking, and I don't think that they get enough credit either.
Talk about the impact that Lawan in the last 2 games, like I said, back-to-back 100-yard rushing games, he's had on the offense and being efficient with the running game.
I think you see a little bit more fresh and re-energized Lawan Hunt. I think the move that we made maybe a month ago, 3 weeks ago, with Gerald Bright moving to running back and DJ Nelson moving to H, has proven to be a good move on both counts, on both positions. But the emergence of Trey Miller and the emergence of Gerald Bright has given Lawan, I think, a little bit more freshness. You can get really beat up at running back. And so I think Lawan would be the first to tell you that that's helped him. And but he has a renewed spirit and a very good intentional efforts. The last few weeks, and we're going to need that the rest of the way.
Coach, what all went into the hot start today? It seemed like part of it was offense just really played with a lot of attitude and purpose to start the game.
Well, I think you got both sides feeding off each other. Big emphasis for us this week was to start fast. We actually even changed up some of our pregame routine a little bit this morning, just to try to in an effort to talk about that and to get that going. But the credit goes to those players. Our kids came out ready to go. And the other thing that I think showed their focus and they were dialed in mentally is the effort coming right out of the halftime at a locker room. I think they were really, really dialed in on both sides, and it was 21-0 points, basically 21-0 right out of the gate again in the third quarter. And so my hat's off to our players.
Did that play to end the first half play into that as well?
Absolutely. What a jolt of energy and a huge play on the goal line, big turnover.
What was that second quarter like, Matt, where I think it was like a 19-play drive where they had the ball for like 11 minutes that quarter, but that held them out of the end zone twice?
Yeah, it's just a lot of bend but no break. Tremendous red zone defense. I think Doug said 7 or 8. The radio guy said 8. I don't know. Trips to the red zone, not scoring, and that's a first. That has to be. That's unbelievable. But our defense is bowed up, and I thought they did a really nice job on fourth downs too.
Felt like a really motivated team today. How important was it next week to be motivated again? How important is that game to get to 7?
It's more important than this one. It's something that we started talking about during bye week, and then we talked about it again this week, that we are going to celebrate and we are going to enjoy when we win number 6. But the celebration was good, but they know exactly what we need to do is go find a way to win at Air Force next week. And we want to get to 7 with a chance to get to 8. And they know what 8 means. I've let them know in terms of history of Utah State football in the last 4 decades. They know. And they want to finish strong. Bye week came at a good time for us. We really got refreshed and re-energized, and I think you see a very healthy football team, and I think you see a team that's really got a great vibe, and they're feeding off each other. A lot of guys running the ball, a lot of guys catching passes, and a lot of guys playing, at backer and at DB, and I think that keeps guys fresh. I also think it's great for the morale. More guys playing, and guys have a role. And that was, another big thing is we talked about roles. Know your role, do your job this week.
Coach, we talked a little bit on Monday about how Hawaii's offense had a lot of multi parts of their offense. They were good passing, running. They averaged 5.8 yards per play coming into this, and you held them to 3.8. What was the secret on defense to really kind of corralling all the weapons that they had on offense and really keeping them checked?
I think the key to that was playing good on first and second down. The times that we didn't play good on first and second down, I think you saw the ball moving all the way down the field, trying to get them in third and long and trying to dictate what they were going to do and minimize what they were going to do, and then let our pass rush guys go to town.
Coach, how do you credit going from a 3-win season to this? That's not an easy thing to do.
Well, let's answer that question here in a few weeks. Be a lot more detailed. We all got blinders on right now, and we want to finish this thing really strong. But a lot of it is the vibe of these players and just and I've said this before, you go back and you uncover everything in your program from A to Z, and you come away with a lot more confirmation that you're doing things right, and then you tweak a few things, you maybe change 1 or 2, and you change some personnel, and then you motivate to go out and recruit, and you just basically resolve that it never happens again. And a deep motivation that's not just by me, It has to go through the coaching staff, through all of our support staff, and the entire team. And I'm proud of these guys. You hit some adversity a little bit in October. We lose a few home games, and the credit goes to those players. They're the ones getting back up off the mat, and they get knocked down and get back up and put all their emotions and their feelings out there for everybody to judge and critique and just do it all over again. And we found a way to kind of keep chipping at it and get healthy and get some guys back. And we're on a little bit of a run right now, and there's a good mojo in that locker room right now.
Well, big congratulations. I wanted to follow up, too, on something you said on the radio, talking about how much fun it is being in Logan after you won a game. You got lots of daylight left. Well, a little bit of daylight left.
Yeah, it's
How
going to
much
make
better days like that?
well. Coach Miley got me a couple in-state recruits. We're going to recruiting dinner tonight, and it'll be so much more fun winning, I promise you that. So, but we will celebrate, and then tomorrow go right to work on Air Force.
Matt, how good did you feel after Kent's touchdown pass? That was maybe the best pass he's thrown in his career.
I'm happy for that kid. That kid has been a great teammate. He's been a great leader. He's been a great football player here at Utah State. And for him to have that moment, on senior day, I think is big time. Something he'll never forget.
Coach, one of those changes from last week, obviously, is bringing Yost in as offensive coordinator this season. You mentioned that he had a brilliant offensive game plan that obviously clicked really well. How important has he been to kind of this offense having all the success that they've had this year? I think this also made it 5-0, and you guys have scored 30 or more points in the game. So how key has he been this time?
I think David Yost has done a nice job of really organizing our staff and teaching the offense. Done a nice job with the quarterbacks. But again, I'm gonna say the success of any leader, and that's a unit leader, is always attributed to how the troops respond to you. And our players have responded to him in a great way. And he'll get after them. He'll encourage them. He'll challenge them. But they've stepped up and met each one of those with, I think, an infectious attitude. And our players, I give the credit to our players, but they're the ones that bought in and done a nice job.
You talk about players that bought in. A lot of your senior classes bought in. Myers, Jalen Davis, and Dallin Levitt, and some of the other guys like Odegaard that don't get a lot of mention. That senior class is pretty deep for you.
Yeah, and it's a senior class we honored last night after our Friday night meal, and obviously did in pregame today. But there's 6 guys out of those 18 that came in here and started as walk-ons. Nobody gave them any chance. And, there's 4 of those players that we've mentioned that are 4-year starters, part-time starters on and off again. Jalen, Ian, Lawan, and Kent. And then, Braylon's been here 5 years. Andrew Chin, 5 years. Braylon Roberts, 5 years. You got some 4-year transfers. Dallin Levitt, Damian Hobbs. We got 6 or 7 junior college players, and that goes from 4-year. A guy, Tony Lindsay, came in here and played for 4 years, and some of the junior college players were only 2, but there's a mix. Everybody's got their own story. Everybody's got their own road traveled, but they'll always be linked together as that 2017 senior class that really maybe got us back where we need to be and back where we want to be, and that's in postseason. And my hat's off to those guys.